What's the best thing to do with kids? Do you send them to a private state? For you, it might be different. You got a bunch of kids, and you got a lot of money.
Yeah.
But for the average working, maybe in Britain or wherever, what are you saying about that?
It's very difficult, and the stranglehold they have on the education system is one of the ways they manage to infect so many people's minds with these poisonous ideologies so young. My children, I'm in a fortunate scenario, but I've done the same thing as you. I actually allow the girls to go to school, but they go to like a theater or ballet school. It's more just running around and enjoying themselves. And as long as they do a lot of extracurricular activities, they're happy. The sons, they play chess, they do judo, they do karate, they do boxing. By the time that's all done every day, that's enough education. I believe a man learns enough about life getting his ass kicked and playing chess and having a strict father than he ever will in a shitty school. I mean, school used to matter a lot more before the internet. There's not a single person now who needs to know a fact who can't get the phone out of the pocket.
Right.
So what, you know, like, it's kind of weird. What are they, I kind of wonder, maybe you even know more than me, what are kids learning nowadays? Because I remember back to what I used to learn, and I was saying, well, they don't learn those things anymore because all the information is on a phone. You don't need math because the calculator's on your phone. ChatGPT writes everything for you. Like, what are they even learning? I don't know what you're even doing in school.
I know what my kids are learning, but they're home educated.
That's right.
That's the point.
That's right.
It's difficult to know what they're learning.
So what are they learning? Or are they just being socially conditioned to permafail and
watching
repeat propaganda?
That's
and
what
watch
they'll be doing.
adolescence and repeat propaganda. So your children are being psyoped and brainwashed. If I had to give a true answer, if I was an average income family of some sort, I think the most important interpersonal skills that, the social skills that a young man can learn gives him the best possible chance of succeeding in life. If he's likable, if he's confident, if he can stand on a stage and sell, if he's confident within himself, I think that matters a lot more than any fucking garbage you're gonna teach him at school. So I think that it's the extracurricular activities and the things he does outside of school that's gonna make the man. Fighting made me. It doesn't have to be fighting, it has to be something. But I think that putting a man through some stress and putting him through some tests and allow him to prove his worth and get him confident, he'll be okay anyway. So I'm not a fan of the traditional education system. I think it's actually a complete scam through and through. I think it failed long ago. You know, I'll give you a simple test. If you're a parent watching this, test something. Next time your kids go to school, when they come home, say, what did you learn today? You know what the kid will say? Nothing. That's what they'll say. They'll tell you. And you go, no. Tell me something you learned today. And they'll say, well, I went to math. Okay, that's fine. What did you learn today? Show me the math equation you did. What did you learn today? They can't answer. The kid can't answer it. So you have days of nothing compounded into one big nothing. So the most important lessons children are learning in school actually come from their friendship groups. Whether they're getting bullied, whether they're getting picked on, sociodynamics, how to talk to girls. That's what you're learning in school now. So I'm saying, why don't you just cut out the propaganda and bullshit and put your kid into extracurricular activities? Why don't you put him in a boxing gym, put him in a debate class, put him in a speaking event. Why don't you do all those things? He still learns to get along with everybody. You get to get rid of all the fucking social bullshit programming they're trying to put into your kid's mind, and you get to have more control over what your child's learning.
I think people just need to get wealthy and just need to pull their kids out of school.
Well, this is the thing. If you're a man and you've watched this entire podcast and you do not take action and either go to my program or Samuel's or any other program, if you do not finish this podcast and decide to do something to make your life better than what it currently is, your love doesn't mean anything for your fucking kids. This is what's so amazing to me about broke people.
Wow.
I love my kids, but you don't love your kids enough to save them from being brainwashed.
Wow.
Because you don't love them enough to get wealthy enough to take them out of that school, which is convincing them to be brainwashed. Your children are walking to school amongst other kids who carry knives. You're risking your kid's life because you can't put them in a better school because you don't want to try hard. So what does your love even mean? As a man, your love only has value if you have capability. When a capable man says, I love you, that matters. When a loser man or a weak man or a lazy man says, I love you, it means nothing because he can't do anything with the love. It doesn't matter how much you love your kids if they're walking to school amongst fucking killers and being psyoped. Your love is empty. Women know this intrinsically. This is why when a loser says to a girl, I love you so much, she's like, I don't care, because she knows you can't help her. You can't improve her life. You can't protect her. When a winner says, I love you, she feels it. Women know this intrinsically. So it's amazing to me that men will sit here. They'll ignore all the advice we've given. They'll take some time to leave a comment and say that I'm a bad person or that you're a bad person. And they'll go back to say, well, I love my kids, and not even fucking try hard enough to save their children from eternal slavery. You're allowing your bloodline to be bestowed with parasitic mind virus because you don't want to try. And then you want to sit there and say, oh, but I love my kids. No, you don't. If you're a brokey and you're not trying to escape, you don't even fucking love anybody. You don't even love yourself.
Yeah.
That's the level it's reached now at this point where the world's so fucked. When I see a person of 40 years of age with no money and no drive, and he goes, oh, I really want to make it out. I was like, you don't give a shit about your family. You don't give a shit about your last name. You don't give a shit about yourself. You don't give a shit about anybody. You're a fucking scumbag. So if you're a full-grown man and you're watching this and you do not have the capability to take your entire family and move to Tokyo tomorrow for whatever reason, if you don't have that kind of finance or capability, you take a long, hard look in the mirror and say, what the fuck does my love even mean?
Yeah.
What kind of man, what kind of head of the family even am I? I could say I love my wife all day long. I could say I love my kids all day long. What does that even mean if I'm not gonna finish work and take an extra hour out of my day to try something new to escape the fucking matrix before all of this crumbles?
Yeah.
Your love means nothing if you don't try.